Hello all, Sique here, and welcome back to the path to Unpunishable, where I talk about healing, clarity, and walking away from punishment culture. And we are at card number 21, the inner home, because there's no place like home. Home is where the heart is. Home is where you can be yourself without judgment. Life here is quieter. Life here restores. It's safe, and it's all mine and yours. Home is the land under your feet, but more importantly, it's the space between your ears, the space within your chest, and the roads that connect them. Your nervous system, your breath, your brain, your heart, your ability to return to yourself when the world becomes crazy go nuts. But the inner home is not a fantasy. I want to make that clear. It is a practice place. This is a place you build deliberately, so no matter what, no matter where you are, you know where you belong. And that matters. And it matters because without an inner home, rest becomes conditional. When you don't have a place inside yourself that is safe, you're always negotiating. And it's usually negotiating for somebody's validation. You're always scanning for the threats. You're always adjusting your behavior to avoid punishment or abandonment. Even joy feels provisional, like something that might be taken away at any moment. And for a lot of you who know me, you knew that was a fear that I had for a very long time. And the inner house matters because it is where you reground, recalibrate, and you refresh your moral compass, right? And you rest. It's where you remember who you are, especially when others are not looking for you or at you. It is a place no one else gets to vote on. It's a place that people who wish to punish you can't reach. When your sense of safety is internal, punishment loses its power. Disapproval loses its leverage. Chaos stays outside where it belongs instead of moving in. Because remember, chaos is the truth coming into your life, whether or not you're ready for it or whether or not you want it. But if you have an inside home, you know what the truth is, and you can welcome it as a guest. And this hits because for much of my life, home was external. It lived in other people's approval, other people's definition of righteous, and structures I didn't control, and in roles that could change. The goalposts kept changing. And when things shifted or disappeared, so did my sense of safety. I missed familiarity with stability and proximity for protection. And when those outer worlds collapsed, when those outer homes were taken away and I was evicted from them, it felt like losing the ground itself, because I was emotionally, spiritually homeless, unhoused. And I had to build this brick by brick. It sounds poetic, but building an inner home is not poetic or instant. It was practical. It was slow. Once again, brick by brick. It meant learning what calmed my nervous system and what destabilized it, being able to name it, honestly. It meant choosing routines that made me feel safe when no one was watching or applauding, and especially when they were laughing. It meant listening to my body instead of overriding it. Building the path to unpunishable, building building this card deck is one of the ways I'm building the home. It's, if anything, maybe a supplies list that I would hand you to go to Ace Hardware or to True Value and to get the supplies in order to build it. Like, this is what I use to build the inner home. And once I built it, the world felt survivable again. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to the Lord and to my team for that. Now, how does this look like through the lens? Well, empathy is recognizing your own humanity first. It's understanding your limits and your needs so you don't have to outsource your regulation to others. You don't have to depend on other people to feel good about yourself. And you don't have to punish people when they tell you the truth that you don't want to hear. You can listen and you can make adjustments, or you can listen and set boundaries. Truth is being honest about what actually makes you feel safe. Not what you were told should make you feel safe. And also not necessarily what looks good from the outside, because a lot of people will not understand why these things make you feel good. And it's not for them as long as you are not causing harm to yourself and others. Kindness is offering yourself rest without earning it. That's a word. It is treating your inner world as something worth protecting. Joy is the felt sense of being able to return home to yourself, knowing that peace is available even on the difficult days, that you can take a moment and just go, oh. I mean that I'm finally home. I can take off my shoes and take off my bra feeling. Just that release. Knowing that peace is available. And that degree is refusing systems and relationships that demand constant access to you. It is protecting your inner home from taking bits of you, from people intruding, and from overuse. So, what does this card teach us? It teaches self-sovereignty. It teaches that safety is something you can cultivate rather than beg for. Rest does not need permission. You're allowed to have a place inside yourself where nothing is demanded of you other than what God demands of you. And what I mean is empathy, truth, kindness, joy, anti-greed. As long as you're treating yourself and others that way, the peace just sits and you can lean into it. This card teaches you that when you have an inner home, you can engage with the world without being consumed by it. I say that a lot because it is so easy to lose yourself in the dumpster fire that is happening right now. I'm recording this in February 2026. I've just found out that the rich are eating people. Like for real, like people we know. It's just been made abundantly clear in the world right now that the administration are child rapists and racists. That's a lot for an old black woman. But I am still able to be soft, still able to be joyful, and I can engage in this world without, once again, being consumed by everything that's going on. I can open my hand without losing myself. I can face conflict and hold my boundaries and have a hard no without being destabilized. It teaches that boundaries are not necessarily walls. They can be, but they can also be doors that I can control, that you can control. And on the path to unpunishable, the inner home follows the open hand, because once you know how to give without being used, you have to know where to return to afterwards. Generosity without a home to rest in will lead to burnout. And courage without refuge leads to collapse. And a lot of people say, well, isn't that backwards? Not necessarily, because you'll find that you have the inner home first and then you open your hand, but you don't realize it, or at least I didn't realize it until I had opened my hand, felt it, leaned back. I'm like, oh, I'm home. That's how I discovered it. And when I talk to people, that's how they discover it. So that's why I set them the way I did. The inner home is where you integrate everything you've learned. This is where you recover and rebuild those tears. The things that hurt when people try to punish you, and it will. This is where you return to separate what was real and what was their projection. This is where you figure out what values are not under negotiation. Because when you have an inner home, punishment fails. Because there's nothing to exile you from. There is nowhere you can be cast out of. Because you're already home. And with that, I like to leave you with this final word. May you build a home inside yourself that no one can take. May it be quiet, cozy, steady, and kind. May you return there often and without apology. And may everything you build in the world be rooted in the safety you have already claimed. Amen? Talk to you soon.